Hello everyone, welcome to another World Cup predictions video on my channel. And like with the last video, I was supposed to have a guest on today, but we couldn't properly reach an agreed time to do it, so I'll just be doing this myself. So, the guest, just for the record, was going to be the same one that was on my channel for the World Cup prediction and 32 teams video. But let's get into this. Africa is, of course, a great confederation. There's going to be some unpredictable games, and it's going to be great. Just to put it simply, let's start with I'm going to go in order of kickoffs. So let's go down to here where DR Congo play Morocco. Now, I'd say this is Morocco probably have the easiest opponent, probably the biggest gap in class as well. As far as the footballing side, Morocco have the upper hand, but non-footballing wise, this first leg is definitely the non-footballing stuff in the first leg is definitely in DR Congo's favor. Playing in Kinshasa, and what especially makes that difficult is the weather, the fans, the bad pitch. It's going to be difficult for Morocco. And for DR Congo, once they got here, qualified, they weren't very consistent and needed the last two games to advance over Tanzania and Benin, and maybe to an extent Madagascar as well. Although they might have won both games against Madagascar, but DR Congo aren't exactly at their best. So into this game with the DR Congo, Bolassi's a classic. Mbemba at the back, very strong player. Hector Cooper is a good defensive coach too. So it's going to be difficult for Morocco. Morocco still haven't managed to get Hakim Ziyech in. Halilhodzic, the manager, seemed to have let any kind of grudge go, but Hakim Ziyech just didn't want to play under him. But Hakimi's a key player for Morocco. Normally plays right back in the domestic league, but Halilhodzic does tend to play him further forward at times, kind of like Alphonso Davies does on the left side for Canada. And then you look at they've got some of their forward options, which they've got some brilliant options there. El Nesri for Sevilla, Boufal. There's at least four good strikers that they could choose, and it's going to be, I think it will be a good game, a close game. Despite the conditions, I am going to go with a Morocco victory, and I'm going to say 2-1, because we don't know what we're going to get with DR Congo from a footballing ability. They haven't been at their best. Morocco, they've been playing well, so I think they've got the ability to go there and get a victory. But it's not so straightforward, but I think they'll have enough. Next, we go to one of the toughest games, Algeria versus Cameroon. First leg being in Douala, which which Cameroon. It was initially going to be in the capital city of Cameroon, Yaoundé, but the Cameroonian FA decided to move the game to Douala, where Algeria had been having a bad patch of it in the Africa Cup of Nations, losing 2 games out of 3 and only scoring 1 goal. So that can cause Algeria some nightmare memories, but at the same time, as much as it stops Algeria from playing to their best attacking wise, it also does limit Cameroon's ability as well. So it might not be a good pitch to be playing on, and so therefore the game probably won't be as exciting as it could be. I mean, people have said that there'll be a lot of goals, but on a pitch like a dry pitch like this, we might not see the same amount of action. Both sides overall have got quality. Vincent Aboubakar up front, top scorer for Cameroon. Riyad Mahrez, great player for Algeria. They even called up some Algeria have called up some better striker options as well, so that's going to help them out. Could potentially help them out. They've got a player from Bayer Leverkusen and Al Wakra as well. Both have been doing well this season, and they look overall like they look. The morale seems much better. There's been reports and talks by the Cameroonian, either the FA or the media, that Onana's been in a car crash. But what we don't know, unless it's been revealed already, is if that's just mind games. Both sides have got a number of good players. The fact it's going to be on Yaoundé has reduced my prediction from. The fact it's going to be in Douala has reduced my prediction from 2-2 to 1-1 as it is now. I think it's going to be a close game, not much to separate them on, and I think Algeria overall will. I think they'll certainly have enough to get a result out of Cameroon and restrict them from playing at their best. Now let's go to Mali, where they play Tunisia. Now, people had been tipping Mali as dark horses in the Africa Cup of Nations, but then after they topped their group, they ended up losing to Equatorial Guinea on penalties. Mali is a team I'm not too convinced by. They've got some good striking options, some good strikers, good attacking options, and they can certainly win here. I think this will be probably the most unpredictable game. There's talks of Abdoulaye Doucouré coming in. I don't know yet, and I'm not going to base my prediction so much on if he plays, which it could make a difference to how this tie shapes, and it could be even closer or even more in Mali's favour. And then you look at Tunisia, they sacked their manager, which I think probably could help them out, as he wasn't particularly reliable at the Africa Cup of Nations.
and also Sassy is going to be back. He should he at least should be back for Tunisia, and I think he makes the midfield of Tunisia better, so that is going to help them. And we'll see how well Hannibal Nedjbri, Dylan Bron, Wabi Kazri play. I think in this leg, but I think Mali overall have the edge, and being at home helps as well. I think how they play can stop what Tunisia do, and they've got guys who can put the ball in the back of the net, such as Dembele, for an example. And I am going to go with a 1-0 win for Mali. Now we go to the next game, one of the biggest games in this round, and that is Egypt versus Senegal. Now, there have been people that said that we're not going to get Salah and Mane at a World Cup together, which is true, but at the same time, you are guaranteed to get one of them there. Now, these two, as you probably know, they played each other in the Africa Cup of Nations final. It went 0-0, and it went to penalties, which Senegal ended up winning. Now, whether Egypt have desire to get revenge, which they do, it doesn't make any difference on my prediction, and I don't think it will make a difference overall. It's not going to change the fact that they're going to want to get to the World Cup, regardless who they're going to be playing against. I think it's going to be a close game. Both sides have good goalkeepers as well. Senegal with Edouard Mendy, and Egypt has some good goalkeepers to choose from. Gabaski and now Shinawi in goal. Both of them good options. I think also, but although Senegal probably have they do have the best 11 and best substitute options. Not much for Egypt outside of Salah, Trezeguet, Hegazi, and you'd probably also say El Neni as well. I think it's going to be a close game. With it being in Cairo, it's going to be tough. It's going to be the Egypt fans are going to get right behind the team. But I'd say Senegal overall are the stronger team. But getting a result in Egypt will be a challenge. They've got Sadio Mane, Idrissa Gueye, Islamana Sarr. Got a lot of good options, and I think Senegal are going to nick it here. I think it's going to be a close game throughout, quite nervy, and I fancy Senegal to get a fairly late goal and come out of Cairo with a win. And now let's look at the West Africa, one of the biggest rivalries, if not the biggest rivalry in West Africa, the Jollof Rice Derby, in fact. Ghana versus Nigeria. Now, this is going to be certainly an unpredictable first leg, playing in Cape Coast. Ghana got here after beating South Africa. Ghana certainly had to work in the last 3 games to get to this position. Nigeria did have a few slip-ups, but overall they were convincing enough to get at this far. And then under a temporary manager, they played excellent in the group stage, but conceding that one goal against Tunisia seemed to lose their spark a bit. They've got a new manager now. I think it's going to be difficult to call in this first game. In losing Wilfred Ndidi is going to be a loss. And then you imagine Ghana probably have a bit more control in the midfield with Thomas Partey there. There's still good options for Nigeria, and that front three, which we could go with a number of options. You could go Moses Simon, you could go Victor Osimhen, Ian Acho is a good option. I don't know if Igalo's been called up, but he's been all right. There's a number of good attacking options Nigeria could go for. I think with Ghana being at home, even though they're not going to have the Ayew brothers available for this game, which people have said they've got to move on for them. They're holding this team back. I don't think they're the problem. The problem has been the tactics around them haven't been working, and there's been not much of a strategy. And if they were more involved, then if there was a good plan around them and they were playing, then you could get the best out of them. But they're not going to be involved at all. Being at home, having Thomas Partey to dictate things, and we don't know what we're going to get from Nigeria under Jose Peseiro. I am going to go with a 1-1 draw. It's going to be it'll be a big occasion, and I'm sure Nigeria will be happy enough to come away with a draw if it means they can get through. But that is my prediction. And now we go to the second legs. So I'm mainly going to be basing these predictions on my first leg predictions. But still going to be having a predict at it. And my throat's going. I think for the first game, we're going to look at Senegal versus Egypt, where I think if Senegal don't come away with a win in Cairo, then they'll get one here. I think you're going to see a nervy game, not many goals. If it is the way I predicted, where Senegal came out with the win in the first game, they might play at a slower pace, maybe time waste towards the end. I think it'll be too much of a challenge for Egypt to advance over two legs. I'm going to say in this game it'll be Senegal 0, Egypt 0. I think it'll be a nervy game and entertaining from a tension point of view. But I'm going to say it'll be 0-0 in that game if it was to be a 1-0 win for Senegal. Otherwise, if Senegal don't win in Cairo, I think they'll get the win in this game. And now we go to the return fixture of Nigeria versus Ghana. Now, at home, Nigeria should probably have more of an upper hand, even though generally they are a stronger team than Ghana. I think they're going to have more attacking threats to trouble this Ghanaian team. I think Ghana could give a good fight, and I do certainly wish luck to the two teams, especially, well, not so much especially, but but Ghana certainly away from home will need some luck. But I think with Nigeria, they're gonna create a lot of chances in this game. They've got many attacking players to choose from: Musa, Simon, Iheanacho, Igalo, Chikwueze, Osimhen, Sakid, Dennis, Lookman. That's going to be very difficult for Ghana to nullify. No matter what front three is being played, I expect Nigeria to have more of the ball in this game, and I think the game's going to go their way. I am going to say Nigeria 2, Ghana 0. That puts Nigeria into the World Cup as well. And now Algeria versus Cameroon. What a game this will be, especially if it's a draw. If it ends up being a draw for Cameroon in Cameroon, and if Cameroon do win the first game, then it's still going to be a sense of excitement. The crowd in Bleed is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be, I think it's going to be another close game. You could even see like a 3-2 win, for example, whether it be to Algeria or Cameroon. But you expect if Cameroon are going to advance, they'll want to do it at home because, they have a better chance of doing it at home because no team has ever beaten Algeria in Bleeder. So for this game, I think it's going to be one of them where Algeria probably play a bit better in the first half. Cameroon provides some good opportunities as well. A close game. And then in the second game, it's going to be in the second half. I think by halftime the crowd's going to step up. There's going to be a lot of hype, and they're going to help Algeria get over the line. I think something like 65 minutes in, I think Algeria will score, and then you'll get quite a tensious game. It could just be who's going to outscore who, but I think Belmadi will also try and manage the game where Cameroon can't do too much and while still trying to kill the game off as well. I think it is going to be very close. I have gone with Algeria 1, Cameroon 0. I think over the two legs, Algeria are a bit stronger. Cameroon have the potential to advance, but I think, especially with the second leg being in Algeria, it's going to be a hard one, and I think Algeria just have the upper hand overall. And next, we'll go down to Mali versus Tunisia. Tunisia versus Mali in Tunis. Now, if Tunisia were to be losing this tie in the first leg, which a lot of people have predicted, then they've got some ground to cover. Being at home could also help them as well. Tunisia, they'll have the crowd behind them. It might not be as effective as, say, in Algeria, but the fans will be good enough. They'll be challenged. They'll get right behind Tunisia. I think it is going to be a close game, and if Decore is going to be playing, that's going to also make it close. I think Sassy could be a big helping hand here as well. I think Tunisia will get a goal here. I think it'll probably end 1-0. It's going to go to extra time. I'm pretty sure it's going to go to extra time. And then I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Tunisia, and that puts Tunisia through, because I think overall they've got more established players that can establish good players that can get them results. And Mali do have some promising prospects, but we don't know if they're really going to be involved. Both sides are kind of underwhelming in my eyes, but I think Tunisia have a bit more. And I think with the second leg being where they are, they've got more of a fortress at home. So I think it's going to be a victory for Tunisia. So we started with DR Congo versus Morocco. Let's end with Morocco versus DR Congo. Now, you'd imagine if DR Congo were to go through, then they'd have to do most of that work at home. There could be a bit of a thorn to Morocco, but I think going away from home is going to be difficult for them, especially because they're not as good as they have been in the past. I think Morocco just have more quality, and if they're winning, if they've won the first leg, then the pressure won't be on them so much, and they won't necessarily need to go all out. I think it'll be a 2-0 win for Morocco. I think they'll just be the better team, and I think it's going to go Morocco's way. So the teams that got advancing overall are Senegal, Algeria, Nigeria, Morocco, and I've gone with Tunisia. I think that fourth one, that one at the bottom is going to be a close one, but I'm definitely confident about Senegal, Algeria, Nigeria, and Morocco. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts, your predictions, what game you're looking forward to most in the comments. And this is going to be exciting. And can't really say much more. I think the games itself will certainly show it. And we're getting very close to the end of this World Cup. I think my most anticipated game is probably Cameroon and Algeria. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. And the road to 2022 is almost with us.